I always wanted to be a comedian, and I can remember being like 6 or 7 years old, and we had HBO, and my parents had went across the street to play poker with our neighbors, and I like walked downstairs and HBO was on, and Bill Hicks was on HBO, and he had this big cowboy hat and this like long black trench coat and these cowboy boots, and I was like, what is this? And he was like talking to this mic, and everyone was just laughing, and I was just like captivated, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And then I started watching like Saturday Night Live, and Living Color had come out a little bit after that, and then I just started guys like Sam Kinison and Robin Williams and Eddie Murphy and Jim Carrey. Mike Myers. They just made me want to be a comedian. So I can't remember when I didn't want to be a comedian, to be honest. Terror, straight terror. Which never really went away. When I first performed stand-up, my very first time on stage, I was booed off by like 2,000 people. I did this show at this college, and I was just like really X-rated, filthy, dirty, and like they booed me off the stage, and I walked off, and I worked at Pizza Hut at the time, and all my little Pizza Hut friends were there, and it was so embarrassing, but I was like, well, it can't get any worse. So I just kept going, but my first 3 years, I would just drink like 100 beers and get, like, that was the only way I had the guts to really get on stage, and yeah, it was scary. I just remember feeling so scared, but after I got off stage, I was like, I feel like I had like jumped out of an airplane or something. It was like exhilarating, do you know what I mean? So I love Sam Kinison breaking all the rules, his HBO special. I love Bill Hicks's HBO One Night Stand. I love Richard Jenny, A Big Steaming Pile of Me, or Platypus Man. I love Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious. I love Richard Pryor, Live on the Sunset Strip, Richard Pryor Live. I loved all his albums. I love Dice Clay, The Dice Man Cometh. I loved Robin Williams Live on Broadway. Dane Cook's Comedy Central presents, Mitch Hedberg's Comedy Central presents, Paulo Francisco's Comedy Central presents. Stuff I like really physical, like I like theatrical kind of physical, high energy comedy. So that's the kind of comedy I always kind of watched and studied how they did it, and I always thought that was like a lot of fun to watch. I love Tommy Boy is a classic. I love any kind of Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider, David Spade. I love Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. I loved Eddie Murphy growing up. Those are like my favorite comedy movies. American Pie, Austin Powers, Wayne's World. I love those kind of movies. My favorite sketch shows, SNL, In Living Color, Mad TV. The old Tracy Ullman show was really cool. I loved Seinfeld. I loved Friends. I loved the old show Taxi. I used to like that show. Andy Kaufman was on that show. It used to be on like Nick at Night, like 10:30 at night. I loved Cheers and The Simpsons. I love Mitch Hedberg's, the Dufresne's, he was talking about if you're at a restaurant and they're like, Wilson, party of 3, Jones, party of 2, Dufresne's, party of 4, but the Dufresne's don't answer, then they move on to the next name. He's like, wait a second, what about the Dufresne's? They're missing right now. You can eat when you find the Dufresne's. I'm not doing it justice, obviously. I love that joke. I love Eddie Murphy, Delirious, when he does his Michael Jackson bit about Michael singing. That's probably my all-time favorite. I love Paulo Francisco's Movie Guy bit. I don't know if there's a better bit out there. Dad, Sam Kinison, Living. I would say Eddie Murphy, but I don't. If he ever does stand up again, or Paulo Francisco is always awesome to tour with. Russell Peters is an awesome guy to tour with. Mitch Hedberg was a super nice guy, so I'd love to tour with him again if he was still with us. John Pinette was also a really great guy to tour with. Adam Sandler or David Spade, just to meet them would be So amazing. Or if I met Jim Carrey, that would just be amazing. None. I don't want to be roasted. I can't handle it. I'm too sensitive. I can't. I can dish it, but I cannot take it. If I get roasted, I mean Don Rickles, I suppose. Or maybe anyone at the old Dean Martin roasts, because I feel like they weren't that mean. Guys like Paul Lynde and stuff. I used to be like at the Hollywood Squares back in the 70s, 80s, but yeah. Today's people are so, they will just rip you apart, and I'll be like, is my nostril really? Is this one really smaller than this one? I'm gonna kill myself? Like, I don't know. I can't. I'm too sensitive. I can't take it. I like to write. I don't know if I'd write I really want to write a horror movie. Not like a comedy horror, but a straight up horror, because that's like my other favorite. And I've tried to write some scripts sometimes, but it's like 5 or 6 pages in, I'm like, oh my god, this sucks. And I'll just get discouraged and give up. It's not like comedy where you can write a joke and do it that night, and you know right then and there if it sucks or if it's, you know what I mean? But it's like the script, you're working on it for so long without showing it to anybody, and it's just like, oh my god, this is terrible, this is stupid. But I really like working on a horror movie. It just really, like, I was like so absorbed in it. So I would like to write a horror movie, I think. It would be cool. I'd love to have a Netflix special. I'd love to headline all the improvs and sell tickets. So, that would be awesome. But that's my goal. I just want to be the best comedian I can be, you know what I mean? I just want the crowd to, like, get a good show, laugh, and write the best jokes I can. You know, you're always learning and writing and creating, so it's fun when you write a new joke and the new joke works. That's like my favorite thing in the world. But I just love to headline. If I could just make like a really good living doing comedy, that would be like the best. You can find me on YouTube. Just type in Erik Myers, and I make a new video every day. And you can follow me on Instagram, Erik Myers Comedy, ErikMyers. I just want them to have a good time. If they spent $20 and saw it and they were like, that was worth it, because you could go see the Avengers or you could go do this or that, then I would like to, if they just were like, yeah, you know, we got a babysitter, we drove to the club, we had to pay to park, we had to pay for $5 drinks, at least this guy didn't suck shit. Like, at least he made us laugh a few times. That would be great. That would be cool. I'd be fine with that. People, you need to check out my interview on acutiepie.com, obviously named after me. And if you don't watch it, I don't know what you're doing with your freaking life.